Well, I was real proud of the way our kids came out tonight, and played 4 quarters of football. It was a great win. It's been 295 days since the Akron win. That's how long it's been. And I told these guys that we wanted to really, head out of there tonight feeling good, about all 3 phases of our team. There are some things that offensively that were just tremendous accomplishments. Alex Nooks tied a school record for 4 touchdown catches, the most in Division 1A history. And then Zordich's 4 touchdown throws in the game tonight ties a Division 1A record, which we're real proud of. 56 points by our offense, the most points scored by our team, being a Division 1A, and Bo had a career high of 238 yards rushing. So it was a day of rushing. Defensively, I thought there were some moments out there of bright spots, some great effort plays by a number of guys. But we got to get better at stopping the run. We got a team that's coming up in a short. The next opponent's going to be a very strong running team. But I like what our kids did right before half. That was a big boost. We managed the clock well. We were able to get the ball back and put some points on the board, which is the kind of aggressive style I want our football team to have. And our kids really rose to the challenge. Too many doggone yellow flags, though. I'll be quite honest with you. Having 12, and there was 20 penalties in that game. Kind of sloppy from that standpoint. But we got to work on some things. We'll get back at it tomorrow. We give them 24 hours. Spirits are really high. I was real pleased the way our kids enjoyed tonight and got a lot of players to play.
Yeah, you've coached some high-powered teams before. Have you ever had one score 56 points and have the ball less than 20 minutes?
It's very interesting that you said that, because there was one time we did. It goes to show how effective Alex Zordich was. He was 10 for 10 at halftime. And when you have great receivers, especially a guy like Alex Nuts, who anything in his area code he's going to catch. He goes up and gets it. But I always liked the way our tight ends caught the ball. Devin Campbell caught the ball. Rudy Johnson. There was a number of guys that had a chance to, catch the ball, and I was really pleased, with their performance. So, I really think the momentum that we had going at halftime, Zordich was ready to play. You could tell and look in his eyes this morning, in pregame. This is a young man who is a winner. He's a competitor, and he's well prepared, and he knows how important that position is and how they rally around him. And that just brings a great feeling offensively. And then when you got a guy like Bo, you can hand it off to. It's been a tremendous start to the season. We got to keep it up now.
Where were you when that happened before? Where were you coaching?
Grand Valley. Yep, we had a high-powered offense. We led the nation in scoring, and we had some quick strikes. Didn't take up much time.
You've seen a lot from Bo. We've kind of come to expect it, but have you ever seen him as dominant as he was tonight?
He just gets better as the game goes on, but he trains that way, and I've said it to you guys a lot, ever since I, first came here, there was something special about Bo that I saw every day, and it just. It doesn't surprise me that he had a career high of 238 yards. But the big guys up front, I tell you, I couldn't be more proud of, Gio and Graham Winery and Trevor Sales and Jason Carlson, Andre Davis, our tight ends, our fullback Boomer Brock. He stepped up and, he had some big-time plays that he made that are blocking plays and really opened the holes for Bo. And I thought Alex Wood had a tremendous game plan. Our entire offensive staff spent a lot of time studying this defense and only really having one game under our belt, but we saw a lot of plays in those 4 overtimes. But I tip my hat off to Morgan State and their coaching staff, their players. They played physical tonight, and you could tell by the way they went about their business. I thought our players said they were a physical football team. You were right, Coach. So it was a good win for our players.
The way the offense played the last 2 games. Is this the kind of offense you envisioned when you first came here 2 years ago?
Well, it's been the kind of offense that I've had the privileges of coaching at Grand Valley and in Central Michigan and Cincinnati. It doesn't matter really how you go about doing it, whether it's running the ball or throwing the ball. But it's about those big guys up front, and I've made it, a focus and a priority to me to make sure that our offensive line understands how important their role is, and putting 56 points on the board and helping a running back get 238 yards, and that's been what I've, as you know, we've really grown a lot, as an offense. What we need to do is make sure that all three phases are all clicking, equally at the same time. But I like where we're at with our offense.
What does your defense need to improve on?
There were some things there that I think, when we pop on the film, I'm going to be eager to watch it. I know Lou, is not happy. You win a great game, but we've seen that happen in the past where you win a game and you feel like, maybe, one side of the ball, one part of the team didn't play as well as you'd have liked. So he's a great coach. Our players they understand that, but they're going to enjoy this win. They're going to go back and we're going to watch things tomorrow and really, look at things structurally, personnel-wise, calls in critical situations, and see how our players respond. There was players at the point of attack tonight, and give Morgan State and their running back some credit. I mean, they did a good job cutting the ball back, and and we were in position to make some tackles that we didn't do.
Do you feel that when they changed their quarterback, they changed the look of the game a little bit, that may have, I don't want to say thrown you off, but add a little bit more of a challenge to the defense to match something you may not have been too familiar with?
Not really. I felt like whichever one was in the game, they had their coaches had each of them have a kind of a package, so our defense sees that kind of offense, whether it's the zone read offense and the running quarterback or a throwing quarterback. So I didn't feel like it really posed any real serious issues for our defense. I just think what we have to do is be able to create more turnovers. That was a big thing tonight. I expected our defense to take the ball away, and we weren't able to do that. But we're going to have to go back and we're going to have to play a lot better defensively, from the run aspect. I thought we did some good things in the throw game, but what happened is there was a couple plays where they were able to scramble and break contain and throw the ball downfield. We just cut some guys loose, which is being too undisciplined, and that's something that our coaches, we have to address with our players.
How much concern with the long drives they got to? They had a lot of long drives.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, they have 40 minutes, to our 20. I mean, that's a lot of football for your defense to defend, a lot of plays, and it wore them down a little bit. So that's the same thing as I mentioned. It goes back to getting the ball back. If we could have created some turnovers, we got them off the field, there would have certainly been some opportunities for our offense to take control of the time of possession and kept them on the sidelines. But they were able to keep the chains moving, and and it wore them down a little bit tonight. But they hung in there tough. And I give my kids our players a lot of credit. They've trained hard all summer, and they knew how important it was to play physical football. I didn't like the way they scored late in the game. But we had a guy right at the point of attack, and he didn't make the play. So it's not structural there. It's our kids being able to break down, play square, and play, be able to make tackles in open field situations.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the way Khalil Mack played today after missing last week?
Yeah, he's I don't know all his statistics, but I'm sure there were some great plays behind the line of scrimmage as we saw. We put some pressure on him, and I thought our defensive line did some very good things from that standpoint. I'm just I don't know what he had statistically, Khalil, sacks, tackles for losses, but again, he's a tremendous football player, and we're glad to have him back.
The update on Jake's spots?
We're not sure yet. I think he just kind of tweaked his lower leg, his right leg, I think it was. And he looked great on that touchdown run. I couldn't have been more excited for a young man to be able to take it all the way to the house the way he did. And it was just unfortunate that he twisted his ankle or knee there. I'm not sure. I got to get an update, and we'll know more tomorrow and Monday.
Was there a reason why Fred Lee wasn't a factor today in the game?
Fred, we just held him out. He got banged up in practice, and we felt like keeping him out of there for this game. But he's fine. He could have gone. He wanted to go, But we just felt like in this particular situation, you know, if you're not 100%, you know, it's not worth taking the risk. So we kept him out, and he'll be ready to play against Kent State.
Taco, just one last thing. You know, obviously the defense had its trials, but to stop late in the first half and able to use the timeouts, you know, as you alluded to before, I mean, that was a critical part of the game this last 2 weeks.
You know, I couldn't have been more proud because, you know, for us to be able to conserve some time, utilize our 3 timeouts, and then our defense, it was the first timeout they all came running over on the sidelines, kind of like, okay. I said, listen, gentlemen. I said, you know exactly where I'm calling this game, the way we're going to coach this game. We're going to conserve time to get you guys get three and out. We're going to get the ball back, and we're going to score. I said, and that's what this is about. You know, every opportunity you have to maximize your scoring chances, that's what it's all about. And I knew at that point that really took a lot out of them. You know, you could tell by their body language on the sidelines, and I couldn't have been more proud of the way our defense was able to respond and get the ball back. And our offense came up with a big play, a quick scoring strike that, you know, was another great play by Alex. Alex to Alex was the night tonight. All right, thank you.
Nice job.